Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, taking flights in the Airbus A320neo with Edelweiss, on a flight from here in Zurich to Split. So, flight time's about an hour and 5 minutes, not a very long flight today. So, departing here from the capital of Switzerland, flying our way to Croatia. And so, it should be a more than grand flight this evening. Got 160 people on board, at least that's what I think, yeah, 160 packs, flight time 1 hour and 5, flying Hotel Bravo, India Juliet Whiskey, which is Braunwald, as the aircraft is named. And so, yeah, jump in the cockpit, and we'll set up our flights for today. Slightly damp, slightly stormy today, so we'll have a bit of fun with that on our departure. Because the weather in Europe right now, not particularly holding up. So, let's up all the brightness. Make sure all displays come to life. Let us set the wind shear predictive on. Turn on the Tara. Set that to automatic. Overhead panel. Turn on the nav logo light. Set the strobes to automatic. Turn on the crew supply. Turn on the emergency lights. We'll arm those at least. Sorry, you're right. Zurich is not the capital of Switzerland. Why did I just say that? That is the most obvious facts in the world. It's Bern, isn't it? Wow, okay. Wow, my mistake. Okay, right, well, that fact out the way. This is why I needed geography at A level. Alright. Fuel on board, £16,000 needs today, 16,011, so that's, well, £2 extra, that's perfect. The aircraft is fueled, we'll turn on the fuel pumps, and we'll set everything up for flight. Why the engine's spinning, presumably it's just wind or something flowing through them. It's quite stormy right now, visibility is low, it's going to be a very fun departure this. Alright, head to the MCDU, let's program our flights. So departing today from Lima Sierra Zulu Hotel on a flight to Lima Delta Sierra Papa. Input that. No company routes. Flight number today is Whiskey Kilo 448. Oops, I just realised I've not actually got my clocking on right now, don't I? Probably should turn that on. I don't want them to crash on me. Costing state is 15. Not 5 for once. And the cruising altitude today is flights level 350. So flying to the east today, and so it shall be an odd number cruising flight level. Let's have our initialization. So 50.2 stroke 20.9. And our block fuel on board today is 7.2. Right, so with that all going, let's turn on the seatbelt sign, set that to automatic, smoking, and let's greet our passengers on board, shall we? So, start of flights. Flying from Zurich to Split, that's our flight number, that's our altitude. Flight time is 1 hour and 40 block. Departure time is in, we'll say 21 minutes. 160 people on board this Airbus A320neo. Now, Edelweiss don't actually have a Neo, but you know, Microsoft Flight Sim, it is what it is. So we'll select stats. So use Edelweiss safe demo. We don't have IFE, don't have Wi-Fi, don't have boarding music. We do get a snack service. We do get a meal service that is included with Edelweiss. So start that. Yes, we are using the A320neo add-on, which is going to improve the systems within our A320s today. Don't forget the passenger map. They should now be boarding the aeroplane. Yeah, this will be a slow start, but passengers will take their time to get into the cabin. As they do that, we can see the rest of our aeroplane setup. So back to the MCDU, set over to the flight plan, and let's plug in our routing for today. Also, heads up, we are using iVal today, so we're using ATC. There's no centre right now, so we shall be departing on Unicom. Right. So first waypoint today is Zoo. Which is going to be... that one. Check the flight plan as soon as the RS aligns. I'll doubt we fly to Elma, followed by Resia. Let me check the first waypoint there, 2 seconds. Zoo's coordinates are... yeah, that's correct. So I can see Zoo is North 473, East 8. So that was the correct one we'd selected. Cool. Right, so Resia to Belov, followed by Eritu. So that's next waypoint is Vapup. Insert that. Flight plan is complete. Start departure as well, since we've got no ATC right now, and therefore just do it based on our flight plan, which is runway 34 for departure via the Zoo 1 Golf. SID. Insert that. Set up performance. It's 1 flaps departure. Flex temp is 73. Transit altitude 10,000. That's all fine. That's all fine. So our flight plan's now set up. Our aircraft is ready to go as soon as the systems come to life, really. Let's go greet our passengers, shall we? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard this Edelweiss flight 448 from Zurich to Split. Flight time today is 1 hour and 40 minutes, and we'll be departing in just a couple of moments. We're in the final stage of preparing our aircraft for flights. Any questions for the cabin crew today? Otherwise, I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy flights with us today. Just a generic address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard
Flying 747, perhaps this weekend. If all goes to plan on Saturday, I plan to fly 747 again. Yeah, the runway news is just behind us. Got a few airplanes around the airport right now. And now be all managed by IVAL. These are all real people currently flying in and out of the airports. Got Batik and an Wizz Air to our right hand side. Got a few airplanes behind us as well. Looking nice and populated right now. That's an airplane just over there by the looks of things. One in there as well. Alright, got 2 minutes until the IRS lines. That's all fine. We'll leave it on this frequency for the momentarily while we wait for the push and start. Let's go through the meta information, shall we?
As you find your seat, be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you.
So currently,
finding a location for any of your carry-on items, please use the flight attendant call
QNH1005.
If the overhead bin is full, please make sure you close
Cruising
it
altitude
as
is
a courtesy to other
350.
passengers. Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is
Climbing
clear
initially
and
at
other
3,000 feet
passengers
per
can
minute.
make their way to their seats. If you're in an emergency
And our
exit
speed
row,
will be
please
250
read
knots.
exit seating responsibilities in the card in the seat back in front of you. If you're not able to comply with these
active,
actions, please let a flight
and
attendant
that's all
know,
set.
so that way you can be reached.
When you use IVAL other planes, yes, so the other planes you see are real people currently somewhere in the IVAL world, so it's compatible with Microsoft Flight Simulator, FSX, P3D, and FS 2004, and so all the planes are real people somewhere in the world. You can use something like the IVAL WebEye to track these airplanes and see where they are, kind of like a Flight Radar 24 but for virtual airplanes. So cabin crew now greets the passengers, IRS is aligned, so a quick check of the plan mode, make sure we're happy with the routing. So departure today pretty much takes us south here of Switzerland. We fly down the eastern leg of Italy before making a turn and approach into Croatia. We land at Split. So flight plan I'm happy with. That all looks good. We'll start up the APU and we'll get the airplane prepared for departure in just a couple of moments. quick update of the cabin. Let's have a look at how that's going. Passengers are almost finished boarding. Got a few more left to wait for, but not many. Actually, take that back. Got a couple of passengers left before we have the cabin ready to go. So I'll wait for the call from the flight attendants. Different wing views are the set ones. So you got left wing, you got the right wing, you got your, well, galley view, and then you got your different cockpit views. And so the easiest way to get to them is using the camera tool. Go to showcase, and then on the fixed camera, it's the last 2 views. That's the easiest way to get to your passenger views. In the 747, it's the last 3 views that gets you to those. I'm going to leave it on drone cam for now. I wonder if passengers speak Simlish. I'm not quite sure what that is, Brandon. Oh yeah, before I forget, also inform that the cabin, that seatbelt sign has turned on, and therefore passengers need to have their seatbelts on at this stage. Check the APU, make sure that's all starting up properly, which it is. In a second, we'll be able to activate the APU and then prepare the engines for start. Engines not running. They are spinning, but that's just a normal spin in the wind right now. It's quite windy here in Zurich right now. Currently looking at... how many knots? Looking at a 9 knot gusting 12 at the moment. It's actually not terribly strong, but coming from the south, they're blowing right into our engines right now. Performance has been set up, so that'll be fine for flex. Why do you enable your taskbar? Because you don't have to do it. Which taskbar are you talking about, Pilot Infinite? Yeah, so this weekend, if all goes to plan, on Saturday, I'll fly 747.
Ready to go when you are.
Thank you, cabin crew. Have secured the aeroplane. APU is available, so we'll turn on the APU bleed. External power comes off. Make sure everything is still working, which it is. And so just a couple of moments, we'll now push back from the gate and taxi over to the runway. Oh, so it's the A320neo that allows you to enable the seatbelt signs and all that. Top of the screen, that is Fly Live Studio. Fly Live Studio. It's all that streamers use to put your in-sim information on top of the screen for you guys to get basically a better idea of how everything is right now in terms of flight status. So we set up one more thing, which is Unicom. And so departing runway 34. Departure SID is, grab that, Zulu 1 Golf, push and start, type A320, that's all fine, that's all fine. Cool, so let's turn on the beacon lights, turn on the, yeah, just beacons for now. Let's start the engine ignition, and let's call over the pushback tug. So jet bridge now clear. The pushback tug will move into position. Is it safe to go to Croatia and Bosnia? Is that still also going on? I mean, I'm fairly sure the war there ended back in the 1990s. At the very least, a peace treaty was signed. You're talking about the split of Kosovo, aren't you? And so that one's long peaceful. Yes, the new Japan scene is looking very good, and as soon as that comes out, we will definitely be flying a little bit more in Japan. Right, push my toggle connected. Release parking brake, start up engine 1. We'll request a turn to the left. Nice one, Harry. Glad you learned a lot from this channel. Always appreciate the kind words.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the
Welcome,
screen
Niels. How
for
you
the
doing?
one safety
Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the
demonstration. Thank you for
chats.
flying with us.
Japan will be a free update. A free update for you guys. So push to the left. That's the nose right. I mean, every month there'll be a focus area, so every month we'll be getting a free scenery update within Microsoft Flight Sim. So, yeah, don't you worry, all those kind of stuff will be free going forwards. Right, so ends the pushback. We'll start up engine number 2, now that one is stabilised. And so, the PT, when that sounds, generally when you know that engine they've started is now active and running. Oh yeah, there's Edelweiss everything. You name it, there's an Edelweiss for it. Songs, movies, airlines, beer, you name it. Right, flaps down 1. Am I a teacher? No, I'm not. Let's lower, well, on the spoilers. Engine 2 is stabilising. We won't set the brakes just yet, wait until we hit the runway for that. How do you enable ATC to your taskbar? I'm still not quite sure what you mean by that. Right. Let's turn off the ignition. Sets the taxi lights. Thank you, Lincoln, for the $5 in various like something flights good. Cheers to that, man. Much appreciated. I'm glad you joined the watch. I'm glad you're finding stuff that I do well beneficial for flight simming as a whole. Sport 2000. That's all fine. Parking brake off. We'll lock the cockpit door. Increase throttle, and let's get going. Also, turn off the APU. No worries. Toblerone's dad, Julian, welcome to the channel. And welcome, Toblerone. How are you both doing? Welcome, Ask One Up. How are you doing? Flight time, so block time's 1 hour and 40, although actual flight time about 1 hour and 5 minutes. Oh yeah, the flight control page now works as well, so we can do a proper systems check. And there's so many updates that the A320neo add-on adds to the sim that even I'm starting to lose track of it. Right, so all controls are active. Doing the same flight. Nice one, Ask. Nice one. Thank you, Mishka, for the 10 CHF. That's the Swiss currency, isn't it? Yes, Swiss francs. Thank you very much, Dan. Much appreciated. Add the flyby mod download, but no, it doesn't work. What do you mean by it doesn't work? There could be a couple of reasons why it may not work. For example, have you installed it in the right place? Have you, well, checks if the ecams, for example, are working? There's a chance that it does work, and perhaps you just downloaded the wrong version. That's perhaps not as functional. But, yeah, I'd check that if I were you. Yes, we are flying on IVAL. I'm flying 747 this weekend, as I've said 3 times now for you, Harry. A little bit of throttle. It's wet ground right now, so a bit more friction on the ground there. Not too bad for need of wipers just yet, but definitely keep an eye out for that. Thank you, Misha, again for another 5 Swiss francs. Won't climb or descend. Ah, right, okay, in that case, make sure you're pulling on the knobs. Pull on the knobs, and that'll allow you to set them on manual mode. So, for example, climb 3,000 feet per minute, pull on that, and then it will allow you to climb. Right, make a right hand turn. We'll hold short of the runway, we'll announce that ready for departure, and then we'll make our way up to takeoff. Right, we check to the left. I don't see any lights, and therefore I'm quite happy to say that no airplane's coming to land right now. Check the other side of the runway. So there's no lights on the runway, no lights approaching. No one's crossing either to one of the other runways. So I'm quite happy to say that the runway is clear right now. We'll announce on either that we're about to depart. And lights active. Cabin crew, please be seated for departure. We are using live weather. We are using live weather right now. Flight gear, so we're using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. Auto brake max, cabin checked, takeoff config, set. Data roof is complete. In fact, the rain is slowly starting to get a bit heavier right now, so I shall turn on the wipers. Put on slow setting for now. My sensor is a little bit better on there as well. What is that? Is that a bag? Yeah, it's a bag. Right. So, sensor the runway. We have takeoff clearance. Throttle up 50%. 1 and 2 are stable. Up to flex. And keep an eye on the top there. There's an aeroplane crossing the runway right now, but that shouldn't cause us any problems. A little bit stormy, but nothing we can't handle. V1 rotates. Positive right, gear up. So I'll say immediate right hand turn now to follow the initial flight heading out. There's an aeroplane just there as well. There's 2 aeroplanes right now. I'm keeping a close eye on, very close eye on now on the ND there. So we should avoid both of them without any problems. Right, autopilot's active. So climb at 3000. Speed for 250 knots. And in a moment, flaps up. A little bit of wing flex right now since we are flying through a pretty hefty storm right now. go. A break in the clouds, we should do alright. Funny thing is you can't even change it on your autopilot panel. You just need to do it with your keyboard. I'm afraid there, Michelle. You might have like the number option you've got possibly is to reinstall the flight simulator. Or at the very least try reinstalling the A320neo, because I've not had that issue before, at least not myself, unless perhaps maybe open up the AT window and resize that, see if that may be your issue. Because it's like one of those window glitch where one of these overlay windows can freeze your controls and therefore you lose control of that. So, pardon me. Potentially try doing that and see what happens. Can you complete night flights in clear weather someday? Well, it comes down to whether or not we can find somewhere in the world at night with clear weather. Like I say, for me, realism is number one when it comes to actually doing these kind of streams. Realism and just trying to get you decent flights with good visuals in this case. Well, yeah, good visuals. Got a few lights in the background of airplanes. Got one airplane there, one up there, and two right behind us. There's another one there as well. So we've got a fair bit of traffic right now in the area. Ultimately, not too bad. Bit bumpy, bit turbulence, but nothing we can't handle. We'll clear the ground spoilers. And so right now it's just seatbelt signs and landing lights that are active. The landing lights come off now, actually, just passed through 10,000.
We have now passed 10,000 feet. You may turn on larger portable electronic
And we will also turn off the wipers now since we are at speed. Increase the aircraft now to that 0.6. And also set the altimeter up. No worries, Noz. Good to hear you doing well. How do clouds go? Let's have a look. Cloud ceiling around high right now. We should get clear skies at our cruise at 350, but we will be seeing cloud for the majority of its climates today. But hey, woo, 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 woo. Anti-icing on. I've just noticed the icing there on the wings right now. Then you love it when you forget to turn on the icing. So we're going to have a bit of a frozen aeroplane today. I keep forgetting. I mean, we're flying through a stormy, super cold, high altitude Switzerland. Of course the airplane's going to ice over. Come on, Drawyah, you know better. And quite bumpy now in the cockpit. Yeah, 24,000 still in clouds. We'll be seeing this for the majority of the climate, like I say. Man, this aeroplane is completely frozen over now. I think this may be the most serious ice we've had since Microsoft Flight Sim. That nose is completely white. Yeah, seatbelt sign will not be coming off for a little while. Yes, so clouds hold a lot of water vapour because that's what they are. They're water vapour. And so when you're flying through freezing temperatures and making contact, in this case with cold metal, the water will condense onto the aeroplane, form water droplets, and then those will freeze and then proceed into ice. So that's why airplanes freeze over when they're cruising and climbing. Which one in this case we're going to deal with this icing now for the entire flight. It will melt during our descent into splits, but for the entire flight it will just be a popsicle plane. So there's no clouds, you do not require anti-ice. Because in that case there is no water in the air, or very little water in the air, to cause the airplane to freeze over. Nice one, Niels, enjoy the new job. I do get tired doing long flights, that's why I usually take short breaks throughout those streams, fresh myself up a little bit. And yes, that's what you guys are here for, keep me entertained. Got some Mac points 7, 8 now. Yeah, Nightbot does that, at least for my chat window. Nightbot doesn't do anything for me, so it's just chatbot being chatbots. I see one thing, you guys see another. Now, I quite like Restream Chat, it's very good in terms of hiding obsessive bots, and also automatically blocks the spammers, so at the very least I can see all the chats without any problem. Nope, I've had no issues with Engine 1 shutting down. If you install the A320neo add-on, it fixes that issue. Passing through 23,000 now. My feline co-pilot. Currently is sleeping in its bed right now. I doubt it will make an appearance today. Thank you, Russian person, sorry, for the 149 rubles there. The Airbus version does not have VNAV, no, not yet, so you are still manually climbing the airplane, we're still manually controlling that. Ooh, we are actually breaking through clouds though now. We may soon reach an end of this stormy bit of weather. But yeah, there's no VNAV at this point in time, so we are still manually controlling our speed, we are still manually controlling our altitude and climbing rates. Yeah, blue skies at 320, we're currently passing through to 265. Potentially we'll see Neo fix coming soon, but hopefully the A320neo guys will make massive improvements as well in terms of the future capabilities of these aircrafts. We could see a CA mod one day. I mean, it would require a change of the external model, but in terms of cockpit setup, it's pretty much exactly the same. So yeah, I'd like to hope that for a CA mod at some point. As for a bit more of a, well, more variety of airplanes as well you can choose with. Yes, once the update comes out, we will definitely be revisiting Japan, having some of the senior upgrades that the new, well, senior focus will include with that. Flight Factor will probably not be developing for Microsoft Flight Simulator for two reasons. One, the development cycle of X-Plane is very different to that of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and therefore there's a lot that needs to change. They have basically done everything from the beginning again, which takes a lot of time, costs a lot of money in terms of development cycle. We've got clouds or clear skies now, just about to break out. The second is that Flight Factor are a publisher and not a developer. Flight Factor do zero developments. Other teams develop add-ons, and then they publish it through Flight Factor with the name. Oh, there we go. No bit of turbulence, but we are just about to now break through the clouds and make our way out. Do you think real lands use 2020's transit pilots? No, probably not. The main reason for that is because this is an entertainment simulator and not a professional simulator. P3D is a professional sim. P3D holds the professional licensing, and therefore... Well, is that ice melting? Or is that just me? Does the anti-ice now kind of work? I'm not too sure. Looks like it changed at least. Thank you... Richard for £10 there. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Yes. So, P3D is the entertainment platform, while... Sorry, P3D is the professional, while Microsoft Flight Sim is the entertainment. Are we back? Looks like the internet dropped out for a second. The overlays cannot be displayed standalone. The standalone platform looks like this, and it's called Fly Live Studio. So this is what it looks like. And then top bar is how you can customize it for streaming. No, I am not a real pilot in real life. PMDG released the 737 in Q1 of 2021. That's when it's expected to release. So, our frozen Isle of Ice has now left the clouds. We're almost at cruise, and well, if turbulence lightens up a bit, hopefully we'll be able to turn off the seatbelt sign. Oh, actually we're at cruise right now, 350, so we'll see. About to fly through this next cloud in front of us. I'm sorry, is that... Yeah, that doesn't look right. I'm not quite sure why the Mac indicator was pointing 1.0 there, but I'm very sure, unless the winds were very strong right now, we would not be cruising at Mach 1.0. So, as I've said a few times now, I will be flying the 747 this weekend, and the 787's broken right now, and so no chance of me flying that anytime soon.
Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, we only accept credit cards.
Yes, once the Japan update does come out, I will be doing the I'll be doing a few flights in Japan. Yes, we are cloud surfing. We may even increase our cruise to 370 if it gets us a little more clearance. I think we'll actually do that, so we'll increase that to 37. About 1,500 feet per minute, and try and see if we can get a bit more clearance from the clouds. Might a bit of turbulence, but getting better now, so we will probably turn off seatbelt sign in about a minute. Always appreciated, Bruce. Always appreciate the support. And as I always say, as long as you guys are enjoying these videos, as long as you guys are enjoying the content, then I'll definitely be back for more. The day you guys stop enjoying this, probably the day I stop. And Flick gets timed out for spam. Ooh, Neil went straight for the hide, fair enough. Again, FlyJSim is another one where, because they're an X-Plane developer, development cycle for Microsoft Flight Sim is completely different, and therefore very unlikely we'll see them in Microsoft Flight Sim. But if you want to ask someone, ask the developers, because they'll have the definite answer. No 380s yet confirmed. No one, not in development, not official. Maybe at some point we'll see one, but as it stands, there are no 380s as of yet confirmed. Right, well, the aircraft has not really stabilised yet, so we won't turn off seatbelt sign right now. We're flying a lot more stable than earlier, at the very least. As I just said, the A380 is not yet confirmed, no one's doing one, so there's no release dates for it. Yeah, it's going to be a bumpy flight this. How are our passengers faring up? Still very satisfied at the very least. Everyone's still seated right now. And so, we'll see. We'll see how that changes. So, some aircraft do indicate turbulence on the ND. And so, while the A320 has a switch for it, predictive, where is it? Predictive wind shear, and also, I could actually turn turbulence mode if I wanted to, so let's see if I can try and do that. Give the radar a few seconds to activate. So we have got a weather radar, we have got a turbulence radar. So I'll wait for that to, actually I didn't turn it on as well, don't I? That would be helpful. There we go, so that there is a turbulence map. The pink is severe turbulence, the red is heavy turbulence, yellow is medium, green is light. So it's going to be quite bumpy ahead of us. This is going to be a fun one. We'll be alright. We'll be alright. Famous last words. Actually, looks like it gets quite clear very shortly. So we'll cross the rest of the Alps. We'll start crossing the eastern portion of Italy. And then it gets quite clear for us. So fingers crossed, we may get a slight bit of clearer skies. As I keep saying, the 747 flying on Saturday. 747, we're flying on Saturday. The only thing I need for that is just a nice routes to go along. So I'm currently looking for one that is about maybe 6-7 hours long, perhaps over the North Pole. See what options I get with that. Might end up going to like Anchorage, but we'll see. Right, so now entering the severe turbulence zone. As the aircraft getting a little bit more shaky right now. So that's a lot more we're trying to deal with at this point. And you can handle it, no problem. Just won't be the most comfortable ride. This is the Airbus A320, the A320neo. .737 is coming, yes. PMDG currently doing one for release Q1 2021. You've also got the 734, which is coming from an unknown developer, and also the 732 from Milviz. If your fuel is hitting below 10%, then it sounds like you're running out of fuel because you've got 4 engines, and, well, the fuel pump's going to do so much, so potentially the fuel pumps are running out of fuel, and therefore you're sending air out to the engines, which causes them to cut out. So make sure you're running with a bit more than 10% in your fuel tank. No A380 yet. The A320 is a rather easy airplane to fly. It's not too difficult to learn, not too difficult to get your hands on. Yeah, it's not a very difficult plane to fly. Fuel on board, we have... well, yeah, the ice warnings there. Actually, that's not a nice warning, it's just telling me that the anti-icing is turned on. Actually, that's a bit too late for me to melt some of this ice on the wing. Fuel on board, sorry, is 5,360 kilos. 5360. I do prefer my Boeings, but I'll fly either. So I can see right now, we have got some clearer skies ahead of us, no hatched clouds. So once we hit about here, that's where I can hope that we can give passengers a little bit more freedom in the cabin. I mean, what I would do in reality is just fly parallel to this. So I'd set a... what's it called? A... Presumably you've got the button on here. But essentially I'd set up an offset. I'd fly about what's that, 5 miles to my right hand side, getting that clearer sky. But with offsets not being a feature of this sim, I don't think. No, it's not. We'll just have to soldier on, make it through what we've got. Yeah, if you're landing without landing gear, then... Well, first of all, I recommend turning off the crash mode, because it then allows you to actually land without landing gear and all that. It's back, this is just annoying now. There you go, that's better. Yeah, so you'd have to turn off the crash settings, now if we can do all the fancy crashing stuff. And then, we're just kind of hoping for the best. I don't think so at the moment. So there's a couple of ATCs active right now, but nobody yet on my flight path. There's no Lima Deltas, so we may get someone in Italy, but don't count on it, basically, as we're going to Unicom for the majority of flight today. Right, well, for the first time in our flights, the aircraft has been stable now for about 3 minutes without any problems, so we'll turn off seatbelt sign for now. And we shall give passengers a little bit of time to move around, go to the toilet if they need to, as without any mind of doubts, we'll probably turn the seatbelt signs back on again shortly.
You can now get up and move about the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when seated in case of unexpected turbulence.
Oh, sorry, have I missed a question there? Hang on. Is that a question regarding cost index? If you're looking for cost index, then yes, first page on the right hand side here. Which arrival, so we'll be landing runway 05 splits over the water via a Vapu 1 Zulu approach. Water bottles down here. I really should clear them all up at some point for recycling. Nope, no other flights today. This should be my one and only one today. I have flown over my house, yes. Not on stream though, for reasons you can guess why. So we're about, or slowly passing a third of the way into the flight now. Making good progress as we cross down the south or east portion of Italy now. So very soon we'll be over the water, and then it's pretty much a water crossing the entirety of the flight before coming to splits. Very nice, Johan. Very nice. IVA frequencies, they tell you on the menu. So right now we're on 2.8 Unicom, but it tells you, for example, that this approach 196, this one centre 13435, and then Northeast Centre. So it gives you the frequencies via the nearby ATC stations menu, and it tells you what to change frequency to. Welcome Cooper, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chats. Nice one, Cooper. Thank you for the support. And good luck with your gaming laptop, because it probably won't do you very well, that's for sure. I mean, I'm running a desktop system right now, which is medium high spec and very teetotty when it comes to Microsoft Flight Sim. It runs it well, especially with overclocking, but without overclocking, without any extra push behind it, it's yeah, not recommended. You said shaking, well, the reason I have an FSX is because it doesn't simulate these aircraft right. But it does that in real life, the A320. It's a real feature of it. Basically, well, I say, when you rock a baby, it helps go to sleep. It calms the baby down, it does that. And so what Airbus did is they tested it, and so they put a slight sway into the aircraft as a way of keeping passengers calm in the cabin. And so it is a feature these Airbus aircraft have. Nice one, Sky. Glad you joined the videos. Hopefully your flu gets better. So our frozen Edelweiss is looking, well, nice and chilly right now. Fortunately, the seatbelt signs can stay off a little bit longer because the turbulence has been quite good to us right now. We've flown over the midpoint now, so we're over halfway to our flight, or over to its destination. And arrival, well, supposedly it's in about 20 minutes. I'd say more like 30 at the very least. No, we're not going to land on taxiway today. At least not intentionally. not say the ETA is too bad. Well, the ETA, so if I was flying as the crow flies with current speed, it would take us 20 minutes to arrive. But what it does need to do is take into account the descent, needs to take into account the slowdown. So potentially, hopefully, we'll see that get updated one day in the future. But Fly Life Studio, I do like it. It's a very good tool. It does its job well. Probably increase our cruise speed as well a little bit. Mach 0.85. Winds are really that good for us today, are they? And so the higher cruise speed means we get to our destination a little bit quicker, which I'm sure passengers will appreciate. So, stream plans for this weekend. We will be flying in Australia. I'm not quite sure the routing just yet, but it'll either be Melbourne to... where is it? Melbourne to Perth, or Melbourne to Durban. We'll definitely do a European flight of some sorts. Perhaps in Lufthansa. It's been a little while since I last flew those. And so, we'll try that. And then there's two more routes I haven't decided. Sorry, one I'm doing the 747, but I haven't decided the routes yet. And then one more route I haven't planned at all. So, that'll be planned out tomorrow, since I don't stream on Fridays. So, hopefully, we'll have a full weekend again. My graphics settings have got an entire video dedicated on, and so probably better checking off that if you're looking for my graphics settings, or Neil's dropped the link. I haven't used Pilot to ATC. I'm not sure if I will do. I'm quite happy with IVAO. Alright, so yes, if you download, make sure that's actually censored as well. If you download the alpha version of PAX, it comes with the cabin view. So if you go to the PAX, to the TFDI Design website, head to PAX and head to the installers, and then download the alpha version. Then the alpha version will be the one the passenger cabin view. So click off the passengers, view their stats. Still a few bugs in it right now. So for example, the cabin crew won't do their meal service. But they are actively working to try and fix that, and hopefully within the next couple of days they'll have a proper working cabin with, well, passengers going to the toilets, for example. You have the cabin crew serving them food throughout the airplane, and so it's not perfect, but for a first release it's very, very good indeed. And so that's TFDI Design at PAX. So far approach, shall we? So we'll be arriving runway 05 via Zulu via the Vapu 1 Zulu approach. No wires, plug that in, and that should be perfect for us. So, interesting. Actually, no, that makes sense. That does make sense. If I zoom in, go to plan mode. Yeah, so we come in, and then don't fly directly to the runway, just in case there's other traffic around, but for the most part we can get like a direct point to 2 if there's no other traffic, or in this case use the localizer, and guide us into the airports nice and easily. Fair enough. I'm quite happy with that approach actually, looks quite good. Gives that little bit of variety as well. So the startup process isn't documented, but I have done a tutorial on it, which teaches you how to start the aeroplanes up. A lot of people say that it's helpful to them, so well worth it. Flight from Charles de Gaulle to JFK. I mean, I did Heathrow to JFK a couple of weeks ago. That was a fairly long flight, and so, well, Charles de Gaulle, you're adding basically another 45 minutes to an hour onto that, so have fun there, Mazzolo. Enjoy yourself. So we'll be doing the smaller airplanes again next week. We'll be doing that on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday I'll fly some more small jets. Oh, actually no. I know my 4th stream is on Sunday. It's a group flights. Like I say, the last Sunday of every month we do a group flight in the evening, and so we shall be doing a small plane flight on that. So we have 2 A320 streams, a 747 stream, and then a group flight of some sort, which I'm going to plan out at some point soon. I'm glad I remembered that, because I do need to get that on advertised as well. But yes, we will be doing a group flight. We'll be doing one of those in the weekend. So stay tuned for that. So I'll drop a message on their Discord server a bit later on. Why watch? Join it, Big M. Join it. The 787, if you don't use the FMC, then it should be alright. If you do use it, it's a bit off. You can't execute a flight plan, it just leaves you a bit worse for wear, as I found out the hard way during my stream on last Sunday. I've got close visit to our right. So, yes, the 787 is viable if you don't use the FMS, but if you do use it, probably not. So I get my waypoints off of SimBrief, and so SimBrief generates me a flights plan, which I can then use for my flighting. So SimBrief, where I get that from. Your flight time today was about, well, it's an hour and 1 hour 40 block time, 1 hour and 5 minutes air time. Yes, you can say different hotkeys to switch between the different views. If you're having issues with the engine shutdown on the A320, download the A320neo projects add-on. That fixes the, well, virtually every bug of the aeroplane. Lets you fly it nice and smooth. The A320neo. There we are, coast of Italy. Very beautiful part toward that. Well, my favourite of Italy has to be by far Catania. I visited Catania back in January of this year. 28, 29 degrees centigrade. It was just super warm. And given that a week before then I was in Finland, minus 9 degrees centigrade, it was certainly certainly a change, that's for sure. Probably went a bit overprepared. You can use the different buttons on the joystick to set up different key configs, but I'm not quite sure what you mean by the as a mouse click buttons there, Shark. Favourite airport I've been to in real life by far has to be Helsinki Vantaa. Vantaa is a very beautiful airport. You go inside the departure lounge, it's just an all wooden trim interior that's very, very peaceful. It's almost like the inside of a sauna in there. Yeah, Helsinki Vantaa, almost certainly. Right, so I won't give it too long now until we start our descents. Let's actually have a look at the flight plan for that. Yeah, so just after Error 2, we'll start our top descent into Split today. Yeah, so when I say airport Vantaa, I've been through it 3 times. Once arriving, twice departing. And then the other Finnish airport I've been through is Lappeenranta. And that was just once arriving. Well, make sure that your FMS is set up properly, Word. Because that sounds like you've got your FMC config wrong, and therefore you've set the runway to one thing, or the approach to another, but check your config there. So right now we're going at a ground speed of 530 knots. So we've got airspeed of 290, Mach 8.5, ground speed 531. So basically, airspeed in the Airbus aircraft, or any aircraft for that matter, is measured by these 2 tubes here, called pitot tubes. So basically there's airflow going into a pitot tube, and inside the aircraft there's a computer which uses that airflow to determine how fast you're going based on your airspeed. Now above 10,000 feet, when the air starts getting thinner, that starts becoming useless, so it doesn't do anything because the numbers are incorrect. So that's where you start using Mach to manage your airspeed based on the speed of sound, which is Mach 1.0, and the ground speed, which is the speed in knots, but based on ground level and not based on airflow. So different systems require different airspeed indicators to keep it all stable. No worries, Niels, you take care, talk to you later. And in our case, let's start our descent, shall we? So we need to be down at 3,000, no. Apparently need to be at minus 5,000 feet. I'm not quite sure about that. Okay, we'll send down to, okay, positive 2,800. So we'll use the positive altitude and not follow, ooh, a bit turbulence there. Was it 2,500 we'll use? Sending at 2,000 feet per minute.
To assist with customs at our destination,
Speed
flight
will slow
attendants
down.
will begin handing out forms momentarily. Please review and complete these forms and keep them with you for presentation upon arrival.
There we go. Yeah, 70 knot winds right now. There's a fair few storms right now in Europe which we're combating, so winds are a little bit high right now. That approach speed is sound. Crash after live pause. Nope. Live pause works for me, no problem. Right, let's have a look at the meta information for splits right now. So, view clouds at 3000, although visibility is plus 10 below that. It's a 4 knot wind heading 350, so yeah, landing runway 5 is fine for us. QNH 1013, that's all fine. Let's plug in the approach now for the performance. So was it 1013? Temperature right now is 20 degrees centigrade. Magnitude of winds is 350 at 4 knots. Transition altitude is 8,000. Transition height is 40 feet. And that's all that's. Yes, it is important to put these in, because that's how the aircraft calculates its approach speed. So now we know that our approach will be 154 knots, with touchdown at 142. And so use that to set up your approach. So that's setting up the performance for takeoff. Without it, you don't have flex. And so flex is very important in terms of managing your throttle power output during takeoff. So speed is determined again based on the FMS. And so that's 155 knots approach, 142 landing speed. And that's given to you on the performance page. So you can see right now where all the clouds are. Pretty much following the coastline of Croatia right there. So the storms are very localised right now. And water does play a very big part in that, because over the water the pressures are different, therefore allows the clouds to rise, allows them to start spreading. Over land it's a lot more focused, and therefore storms do start to build up. Perhaps a little bit on the high side right now. What, 40 miles to go at 24,000. We'll leave it as it is for now, but if I need to increase our descent rate, that we can do. So the engine shutdown issue hasn't been fixed by default, but you can download the A320neo add-on, which allows it to work. Likewise, if you don't want to use the A320neo, want to keep a default aeroplane, then fuel up with the centre fuel tank, not left and right, but centre fuel tank, and that fixes the APU engine shutdown issue. Definitely a cheeseburger. Not a massive fan of hot dogs, especially when I don't know where they come from. I'll try to avoid machine reclaimed meats. Alright, seatbelt sign on. Speed brakes would speed up the descent rate as it's slowing the airplane down, so yes, you can do speed brakes. The passenger program is PAX, TFDI design PAX. Aeroplanes do freeze over, but not quite as much as that. This is a bit exaggerated, but aeroplanes do freeze over if you haven't set them up correctly. Welcome, Reddy. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, we're still on the high side. We're actually going to increase our descent rate now to about 3,000 feet per minute. Should go 3.5, and we speed brakes to assist with the slowdown there. Speed will drop to... We'll go to speed mode down to 220 knots. But speed will increase, so you are coming out down at a relatively heavy rate of descent. If I had the engine failure on takeoff, then I wouldn't be flying right now, so no, I don't have that bug. Download the A320neo add-on from the master branch, which fixes that issue. I like flight sim and train sim for different reasons. One for flying, the other one for trains. Yes, this is live weather. What do you mean by wiggly approach? Because right now we're doing, I guess, a wiggly approach. Ultimately, it depends on what the actual airport's setup is, so it's completely normal to have a wiggly approach. About to pass through 12,000. In a moment, we'll get ready to induce some speed brakes. Covered in blood, it's covered in ice. I hope it's not blood. I really hope it's not. One, 2, 1, 3, QNH. Spoilers armed. We'll turn on the landing lights. Slow plane below 250 knots. So we've got a little bit of descent left to go before we reintroduce that.
We have begun our final descent into your destination. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time.
Down
Please
to
ensure tray
180
tables are
knots.
stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
Yeah, not long to go now. Not long at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to unexpected turbulence, the in-flight service has been suspended. We will resume service as soon as possible.
Okay, we're about to 200 knots, going a little bit slow right now. And descent rates will bring back now to 1,600 feet per minute. Packs. It's packs that does the announcements. On the high side right now. I'm currently watching the Legends Diamond. It looks like we're pretty fine for that. Jacksonville to Atlanta, possibly. The more you spam it, the less I do it. Right, it's down to 180 knots. That's down 2. Descent rate will bring back to about 500 feet per minute. Well, actually, that right now is the Turbulence radar. This is the weather radar. And so that's controlled by the weather panel. Set the system to 1 or 2, and that's how you turn it on. Right, so we'll turn on the Localizer Mode. Flaps 3. Approach mode activated. Go down to 154. At 6 miles, we'll then load landing gear. Should be an interesting approach, that's for sure. The airline's pronounced Edelweiss. Edelweiss. So we are Edelweiss 448. Probably a different version of 787 because the 7810 is probably the shortest range of all the 787 models. The 788 goes the furthest. Cabin crew, please be seated for landing.
Cabin crew, please be seated for landing.
Ooh, back to the clouds again. Turbulence starts to kick in. Though below 3,000 we should expect some clearer skies, but we shall see. Edelweiss is a subsidiary of Swiss, and so I'm not sure what Swiss are aligned with, but wherever Swiss is, this will be as well. Gear down.
2,500.
Spoilers armed. So the flaps down for landing. So, landing lights active. Gear down, 3 greens, flaps set. We have landing clearance. Cabin secure. Pre-landing check is complete. 16 knot crosswind right now. Yeah, Swiss aligned with Lufthansa, but what alliance are they? Because the question was, are they Star Alliance? Runway in sights. So we've got enough visibility to perform a manual landing today. Just look at the height right now, so turn off the autopilot and we'll guide us in now. A little bit of gusting, a little bit of wind right now. Going to use a bit of rudder as well, just to keep the aeroplane centered with the runway.
We are sorry for the inconvenience, but in-flight service has been suspended due to rough weather. We will resume service as soon as
2,000.
it is safe to do so.
1,000, sorry. A bit on the low side, but we can recover that. There we go, 2 reds, 2 whites. So right now it really is just combating the crosswind right now. Give us a safe enough landing.
400.
Up to 25 knots now this crosswind.
200. 100. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
First thrust sets. knots. 60 knots idle reversers. Well, that was a bit of a hands-on approach, or a bit hands-on approach to landing than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 5:20 p.m. and it's currently
So we'll go to the end of the runway, we'll turn the airplane around, and then we'll head back towards the taxiway.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your
Yeah, a bit of a
itinerary
backtrack,
to ensure-
nothing too bad. Hey, sun's slow sitting now behind the mountains over there. Yeah, if you guys are on Microsoft Flight Sim, stick live whether on. Try and approach into split, because this right now is pretty challenging, especially with the weather right now. I mean, what, 20 knot. Well, they could always ping me if they're online. I'm gonna put a quick message, 2 seconds. Turn around, we'll backtrack down. Yeah, now I can contact them on 24675. Wouldn't mind that a little bit earlier. Edelweiss 448, hello there with you, backtracking runway.
Edelweiss 448, please down.
On the wipers slightly. I think also on some of the dome lights as well, since it's a little bit dark right now in the cockpit, thanks to the cloud cover. Just dim lights for us for now. Yes, I use a 1660 graphics card. Right, let's do a clear up now, leaving the runway, so APU on, flaps up, landing lights off, taxi lights set, we'll turn off the anti-icing. And then we'll stop here and announce that we clear the runway. Edelweiss 448, clear of runway.
Edelweiss 448, roger.
Yes, custom PC.
Edelweiss 448, taxi 20 stand available.
Standard choice for Edelweiss 448. Yeah, wet weather does play an adverse effect on your taxi. Have to put a lot more throttling to get the airplane moving, that's for sure. So standard choice, we'll likely be using that one right there. There's a few ground facilities waiting for us ready to go. Ground marshaller. No, you are just a guy standing right there because the ground marshal's over there. Ah, okay. Fair enough. Bit of an awkward setup that, but hey. Parking brake set. Landing lights. Sorry, taxi lights off. Beacon lights off. Engines off. Make sure the APU is active, which it is. And there we go. Welcome to Well, speed passage, shall we? Good there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Split. What local time right now is 11:06, and current temperature right now is 18 degrees centigrade. A little bit stormy outside, but we'll head you into the tunnel very shortly. We'll be free to continue on your onwards journey. Wish you a safe and pleasant trip home. Cabin crew, did tunnel doors and cross-check. Yes, a public address, generic message.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Split. What local time right now is 11:06, and current temperature right now is 18 degrees centigrade. A little bit stormy outside, but we'll head you into the tunnel very shortly.
Alright, so we'll call the stairs over. Hopefully because they're at a slight awkward angle, because again, I'm not quite sure where the ground markings are, and therefore... Well, the ground markings are over there, these weird B-shaped things. Yeah, some airports do need a bit of love in Microsoft Flight Sim, and Split is certainly one of them. I mean, the tunnel here is quite nicely detailed, and I can imagine, especially with the scenery background as well, it could look very spectacular, this. It really would. Right, so stairs now connect up to the aeroplane, and hopefully in a couple of moments we'll have passengers ready to disembark. We shall also use packs for the end of our report, so do stick around for that. Bring off the seat sign as well. Now passengers start getting off the seats as well. A few things I just sometimes need to remind myself to do in the back end. Ask them to expedite stevedboarding.
We'll see what we can do. No promises.
Yeah, stairs aren't going to find their way to the door, aren't they? Fair enough. End the flight here and see what they say. So, we had a couple of in-flight service suspensions due to turbulence. Moderate headed schedule. Yeah, a few complaints about the in-flight service which we had to cut short because of the weather. But otherwise, not a very bad flight that. So, Edelweiss 448, A320neo from Zurich to Split. Flight time was 1 hour and 10 minutes in the end, so that's that. Lot time 1:26. So we set to depart at 1950, left at 1949. Set to arrive at 21:30. We arrived at 2100, which is very good. And yeah, it's just a very good flight that overall. So we'll save that, and let's also give you guys the flight report as well. So give it a couple of moments while it still uploads, but in about 5 minutes. You guys then be able to check in flight reports as well for yourself, share it around, and just do all the kind of stuff you do. Otherwise, yeah, while the stairs there try and find its way to the aeroplane, I think now would be a good time to bring this to an end. So, thank you all for watching. You guys take care of yourself. Hopefully, this weekend we have a couple of streams going on as well. So, we've got 2 flights on Saturday, one in the A320, one in the 747. On Sunday, we'll then do a morning stream in the A320, and in the evening, we shall be doing a group flight, so do stick around for that. Otherwise, you guys take care of yourselves, have a good one. I shall see you again in the very near future. Take care and good night. No, 747 route is not yet set. I'll be playing those ones tonight.